In the heart of a bustling city, there lived a man named Siddhartha who was on a quest to find meaning and purpose in life. His journey would lead him to discover the profound wisdom of Buddhist principles, transforming him from a lost soul into a beacon of inspiration for many. Siddhartha's life was one of privilege, yet he felt a persistent restlessness deep within. Despite the opulence and comforts that surrounded him, he couldn't escape the unease that gnawed at his soul. His days were filled with lavish banquets, indulgence, and the pursuit of fleeting pleasures. As he observed the world around him, Siddhartha began to question the nature of suffering. He noticed the poverty, illness, and despair that afflicted so many, and it troubled his heart. These observations planted the seeds of his spiritual journey, driven by an insatiable desire to understand the nature of suffering and the path to liberation. Siddhartha left behind his life of luxury, with a begging bowl in hand and humble robes adorning his body. He set out as a wandering ascetic, seeking wisdom from spiritual teachers and gurus. His journey took him through dense forests, desolate mountains, and arid deserts. Siddhartha fasted, meditated, and subjected himself to extreme physical hardships in his pursuit of truth. Yet, he found no answers that satisfied his quest for deeper understanding. One day, while meditating beneath a Bodhi tree, Siddhartha had a profound realization. He understood that the path to enlightenment was not found in extreme asceticism or indulgence, but in the middle way. It was a moment of clarity, and it would become a central principle of Buddhist philosophy. Siddhartha recognized the importance of balance and moderation in all aspects of life. He learned that the path to liberation required not just inner transformation, but also a life of virtue and compassion. His heart swelled with hope, and he began to share this wisdom with others. Siddhartha's teachings focused on the Four Noble Truths, which he had realized during his enlightenment beneath the Bodhi tree. 1. The truth of suffering. He explained that suffering was an inherent part of human existence. It was a universal experience, from physical pain to the emotional turmoil within. 2. The truth of the cause of suffering. Siddhartha understood that suffering was rooted in desires and attachments. The more one clung to desires, the more they suffered. 3. The truth of the cessation of suffering. Siddhartha offered hope by sharing that it was possible to end suffering by letting go of desires and attachments, which could be achieved through the practice of mindfulness and meditation. 4. The truth of the path to the cessation of suffering. He introduced the Eightfold Path, a guide to living a life of virtue, wisdom, and mindfulness. It was a practical roadmap to end suffering and attain enlightenment. Siddhartha dedicated himself to living by the principles of the Eightfold Path. He practiced right understanding, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. He taught others to follow this path as well, emphasizing the importance of each step. He believed that by cultivating these qualities in one's life, individuals could gradually let go of their suffering and find the path to enlightenment. Siddhartha, now known as the Buddha or the Awakened One, began to attract followers. His teachings resonated with people from all walks of life. He shared parables and stories that illustrated the profound principles of Buddhism. One of his most famous stories was that of the lotus flower. The lotus, he explained, grows in muddy waters, but rises above the surface, untouched by the impurities below. Just as the lotus blooms in adversity, individuals could find enlightenment and inner peace. Despite the suffering that surrounded them, the Buddha's teachings had a profound impact on those who followed him. They learned to let go of their desires and attachments, finding peace in the present moment. The practice of loving kindness and compassion became central to their lives. The Buddha encouraged his followers to extend compassion not only to fellow humans, but to all living beings. They learned that true liberation came from embracing the interconnectedness of all life. As the Buddha's teachings spread far and wide, he continued to guide his disciples, offering wisdom and insights until his final days. He passed away peacefully, surrounded by his followers, with a heart filled with compassion and love. The legacy of the Buddha and his teachings endures to this day. Buddhism has continued to be a source of inspiration and guidance for millions. It teaches that the path to inner peace and enlightenment is within reach for anyone willing to walk it. Siddhartha's journey from a life of restlessness to the realization of profound wisdom serves as a timeless source of inspiration. His story reminds us that by following the principles of Buddhism, acknowledging suffering, understanding its cause, seeking the cessation of suffering, and walking the Eightfold Path, we can transform our lives and find the profound peace that resides within us. Just like the lotus flower that blooms in the muddiest waters, we too can rise above the challenges and tribulations of life, finding our own inner enlightenment and inspiring others along the way. The journey of Siddhartha, who became the Buddha, demonstrates that the path to transformation and awakening is available to us all. So friends, this story of Siddhartha's journey offers valuable lessons in mindfulness, balance, compassion, and personal growth, inspiring you to find inner peace and let go of suffering through the practice of Buddhist principles. Thank you for watching. If you liked it, hit the like button and subscribe so you don't miss our next videos. Your support is important. See you soon.